serious things at stake, and it makes me happy to see that our community is so engaged in this, and I appreciate you guys being a part of this as well, because it is not easy to stand in front of a room of people who are concerned with high emotions and respond and listen and those things. I think this question is probably more for our flock representatives. I've approached this with a question I kind of call the ex-boyfriend problem. We saw this, I guess, in Kansas, that there was an officer who was caught basically stalking an ex-girlfriend. It's the jilted lover issue. We've seen this at the NSA level, so we've seen it at the federal level, but this is now at the municipal level. What protections are in place? I don't know if it's a software thing. Is it only an accountability, city council, city management kind of stuff? How do we solve for the ex-boyfriend problem to make sure that this isn't abused at the very intimate levels like that?
Yeah, and for the community, this case that you're talking about, there was a case outside of Wichita, Ketchy, Kansas, where an officer abused the system. He went in and searched for his ex-girlfriend. That's a felony, right? He is being adjudicated for that. But what was in place? There was a couple things that are in place that are really important. From the system's perspective, there's an audit tool in place that allowed law enforcement to catch the misuse. Case number that is matched. Why is this vehicle being searched? From a policy perspective, which I'm really glad the council's here, and honestly, we go to communities throughout the country. It's very seldom visit more than a dozen people. So, and I really truly mean that it's great when the public has the ability to provide input. And so from a policy perspective is ensuring that the police department has instituted that audit, that they're following that. I think some of the best practices that I've seen is that they're providing that as just as an agenda, part of your agenda item, right? It's there for the council to see as the elected officials. It's on the transparency portal. So that's one way. And then, looking at what uses reflect community values, which the department here has talked about, right? Solving serious crimes, burglaries, etc. And so I think from a policy perspective, those are things to think about. But then from the systems perspective is, can you catch any misuse? And that's what we've done. And can you reduce risk by having that limited retention, right? And so that's why we built the system in that way.